So, Bobby, I just go. Hey, listen, when we get down 14 in here, we got them right where we want them. Credit Villanova. I think two things. With just how the game played out. Obviously, a team that for us, just a quick turnaround from the damaging weekend. I think you could see a little bit of a residual hangover, but also credit Villanova. And what Kyle's done with them, and just the Wooger Poplar is for me, he's going to be a guy who's got a great chance keep developing to be a first round pick. I think he's that good of a wing guard. Longino is one of the hardest wings to guard in the league, and Dixon obviously leading scorer in the country. So they're a good team, I guess maybe if you can exercise some demons for us, I think wire to wire, great performance, win by 14, probably would have been a more enjoyable experience. But I just think that this could be galvanizing for us. Just the way we showed so much heart, and down 14 with 12 to go, and could have lost by 18, tucked tail and just bailed. But guys like McNeely and Taris Reed and Hassan Diarra, solo ball. I thought Jay Stu, had a critical couple of minutes there. They wouldn't let us lose. So, hats off.
Yeah, the overall defense late in the game, and then the full court pressure. I mean, it obviously made a huge difference. Is that something you might do more? I know you can't do it as much as maybe.
It just, it's tough with Liam. When it's like Liam, Alex, Solo, and Haas, who's hobbled, it's not the most kind of athletic, lengthy, twitchy, group to do it. So just getting Jalen Stewart in the game and then putting him on the ball just made us a little more disruptive that way. But if we were able to extend the minutes for guys like Jaden Ross, guys like Jalen playing 7.5 minutes, I mean, part of it was his first run. He did some stuff that got him in the doghouse, but then his minutes in the second half really saved us.
Speaking of Haas, I mean, how do you think he looks right now physically?
Like my grandfather looked when I was a kid.
Dan, can you just talk about the role that Terrace played last 10 minutes, 10 points, 4 rebounds?
That's just what we've been begging. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's just what we've been begging for from Terrace. And, he'd be playing more of a minute line if he plays with that type of force, and urgency and life or death approach. I think he's so talented a guy. He just doesn't always show up with that type of approach. I mean, sometimes he just, he doesn't play anywhere near that level of urgency, and he's. It's frustrating at times because he's capable of tipping the scales and being a huge difference maker, and whatever mental state, whatever went on in his mind, last night into today, is approaching the game. He's going to bottle that up and show up with that type of effort every single time he takes the court. Now, over the weekend now, he's got to be violent and forceful. He can't now throttle it down.
One of all the things that have to go right to erase a 14-point deficit and do it the way that you did and then protect the last few points at the end, how do you kind of square that with the comedy of errors on Saturday? Only 72 hours in between. Like, what happens to make everything go right today?
I mean, we did way worse shit on Saturday than Villanova did. I mean, for us, like I thought we executed pretty good on offense. We got clean stops. Whereas, I mean, things that went on Saturday, you know, I mean, you just couldn't make it up. So, you know, I just this I don't know what it is, man. We've had it so good, and I keep going back to now. You can add this one too, the down 14 against DePaul, win at Marquette, heartbreaker versus St. John's in a game where you're minus 15 turnovers and it's a one-possession game with 30 seconds to go. Win at Creighton, lose that over the weekend, and now get down 14 against this team and win. I mean, I can't imagine what our fans. I mean, I know what my nerves are like. My fucking aura ring was ready to explode.
Dan, as freshmen go, how would you characterize the level of leadership, take charge aspect to what Liam's done?
I mean, what's so impressive about Liam is he's like, and this is not a slight on the team, because the team, I mean, he's out there with Solo, who's a sophomore. He's out there with Jay Stu, who's a sophomore. You know, he's obviously AK's a third year junior and a back-to-back. But he's got Ahmad running around out there. Jay Ross, who's a sophomore. I mean, Steph was surrounded by, a super team. And so there's so much more pressure on Liam, and, to get on the glass. And if he has he wasn't playing well up to the point when we were down 12 or 14. But then when he turned it up, we won by 7. I mean, he's got more pressure on him than any freshman in the country to play well, or else his team is not going to win.
And it doesn't seem to phase him. He doesn't back away from it.
No, I mean the what this is going to do for him in terms of the developing all aspects of his game, and the resilience, and having to carry so much weight and having to make so many plays and having to be a two-way player and having to, he's our second leading rebounder by a little bit. He's got the ball in his hands now. Now that he's back, we've got a guy we can get the ball to late in the game that could go make a play. So that certainly helps a lot.
Coach, Eric Dixon, like you said, leading scorer in the country, held him to more of a volume shooter, 3 of 13. He was 9 of 12 from the free throw line, 17 points. But was Terrace, was that a concerted effort to kind of get his weight on him, to kind of maybe bog him down for the rest of the game, so that at the end he wasn't as fresh?
Yeah, I mean, we screwed up a couple switches with him where he got some pick and pop threes in the first half, Mark, and just Terrace has got just a great combination of physical strength and agility and mobility. So if there is a good matchup one-on-one in the post versus a guy like Dixon, he can match him size-wise, agility-wise. He got him on a couple shot fakes and was able to get to the line, but I thought he did as good a job of one-on-one defense as you possibly could do against the guy.
Dan, Saturday probably would have left a lot of teams broken. The fact that it didn't break your team, does that leave you with a heightened sense of big picture optimism as you're heading towards the tournament season?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, who knows what this is going to turn into for us. Obviously, down the stretch here, we don't have to get on a flight. We've got bus trip, road games. We've got, 3 of the last 5 at home. We've proven we have an ability to go to Texas, where some really good teams have lost to Texas. We've been able to go to Marquette. Some really good teams have lost at Marquette. We've been able to go to Creighton and beat a team that not a lot of people are going to beat there in Omaha. So, it's just so much has gone on with the team. But I think our mindset right now, especially getting this one today on such a short turnaround, it was like, I think, the season was hanging in the balance for us today. If we lost this game, going to play, St. John's in the Garden over the weekend, this is definitely going to galvanize us. And, I think it's a chance for us with having some high-end wins and then having some really bad low floor moments. This team's got to find a way to, finish strong, go into the Big East tournament with great momentum. And, UConn starts playing really well in March. So, can we get on a roll here late and get some of that March madness March magic that we tend to have here?
And you sat Alex for a good portion there late in the game when you kind of made the comeback a little bit there while he was out. Was that more just because of the pressure and getting Jalen up on the front today?
I just asked those guys how much has Alex played, because he just looked tired, and they said the whole game. So I just said, let me get, Alex wasn't playing great at that point, and we wanted to be able to maybe get into some pressure and get Jalen on the ball and see if we could create some energy there. So it was get Alex a rest. It wasn't going great for him. Get a little pressure going, and then maybe rest him, where then down the stretch he can maybe close the game a little bit fresher for us. But Alex is, Alex had a huge end to the Seton Hall game. I think getting Alex going down the stretch here, we're not going anywhere unless we can get AK going.
And you mentioned how much you needed this win. You're down 8 at halftime. What was the message there, and kind of in that first media time out of the second half when they came back?
Yeah, it was like, I think twice in the first half, our point guard got picked at half court, and I think they went in and laid the ball in. I thought Solo and Alex and Liam were missing pretty good threes. We had made some mistakes with Dixon. It wasn't like a chaotic locker room. It wasn't like, hey, I thought we were on the guys about about what our response needed to be. We needed to clean up some of the mistakes. I think we were doing a horrible job of hitting the roller in the ball screen game. There were opportunities we were missing there. We were playing too much along the three-point line. I think we weren't so much hey, wake up, you guys are blowing it, as much as hey, tactically we got to make these adjustments, and if we keep guarding, and then the 12-minute timeout, we're down 14. It was just go +5 in this war, go +4 in the next war. These guys will go tight going into that last 4-minute war, and we're going to get these guys. And the players did the hard part. I'm just saying the shit.
Of all the different things that we've discussed, what in your mind was the biggest difference in the last 12 minutes of the game on scoring that 12 minutes?
It was probably the plays that Liam made. Liam made a ton of plays out there. Obviously, the defense, getting those stops, and and then Taras put himself in position to be able to finish around the basket. But I thought it was Liam. I thought it was just the will of Liam, who came to UConn. To have a chance to have a real season, and if we blew this game today, season bad.
Was there any extra attention on him defensively? Liam from Villanova, it seemed like he was maybe facing some more pressure, attention, double teams today.
Yeah, they jumped out at him aggressively, but they just. They switched a lot of things. I was pretty happy. I was pretty happy with the shots that we were getting. I thought, I thought we actually did a decent job against on-ball switching, off-ball switching, 1 through 4, 1 through 5, which sometimes is disruptive for us. We're better against the conventional defense. That chases or plays a drop. They were mixing it up between a drop, a hard head, switching 1 through 5, switching 1 through 4. So they gave us a lot of different looks that made it tough.
Yeah, is there anything you have to change in practice or just the way you prepare to kind of sustain with a 6-7 man rotation as opposed to 9-10?
Yeah, the difference between this year's team and the prior teams is we were just so deep. We were so deep. So we're pretty fresh, and our high-end people weren't playing the minutes that our high-end people are playing. So we could like practice hard in preparation for games and be super sharp, where it's like we've got to back off because of Liam's injury, because of Hassan's injury, because of Alex's minutes, and because of the general, lack of how far we can go into the bench in this given year. It's affected the way, practice is so important to us, to get us razor sharp and to get us playing at a fever pitch when games start, that I think it's not being able to practice the way we like to practice has hurt the way we've played this year.
Now that you got this win, what's it mean to have Cam and Tristan in the building tonight to watch?
I apologize to Tristan multiple times for just how much of an asshole I was to him, it just he was around to practice yesterday. DC's been around the last couple of days. Cam's been around multiple times. I just think it's really lifted the coaching staff up. We were down coming out of Saturday. Obviously, coaches take losses way tougher than players take them. So, just to hang out with those guys the last couple of days, it lifted the spirits up with the staff, and I think a lot of the team too. Those two guys, man, crazy, historical players, man. Anyone else? We good? Yes.
Thanks,
See
everyone.
you. See you at the Garden.